That's right. Administrators from K through 12 to higher ed acknowledge there's a lot they and all of us don't yet know about the technology. So we asked the question, AI in the classroom, a friend or foe?
We are truly in this state in the middle of a tech revolution. And sometimes you look back through history, you're not aware that you're going through some seismic change.
Artificial intelligence, defined in the Merriam-Webster dictionary as the capability of computer systems or algorithms to imitate intelligent human behavior, is the catalyst for much of that change. It's leading to transformation in all fields, from communications to banking, transportation, and education.
AI is intruding upon, improving upon, and impacting nearly every area of our lives. Society truly is not yet ready for its impacts.
I think most of us have been hearing about AI for a while. Certainly, we've seen the science fiction movies. But it wasn't until this past fall, October, November, right around coming up to Christmas time, that we started to see new tools that were very easy to use natural language, and leveraged all this machine learning that we're seeing in AI.
And so when you start to have these conversations, off the bat, are they ones of concern? Are they ones of excitement? Are they both?
They're both. And of course, the whole spectrum, challenges and opportunities.
James Pittaresi is the Vice Provost of Online and Innovative Education at Binghamton University.
I don't think there's need for panic, but I do think there's need for conversation.
He sees AI as a tool to be harnessed correctly.
I think, for instance, in the class I teach on innovation, it's a wonderful tool for brainstorming and helping generate ideas, get the creative juices flowing, and from there, build on it.
But Sarah Bulb, the director of the Writing Studies minor, says it's vital some policing is in place to encourage individual and critical thinking.
Where it starts to become a concern is when then we're turning it in and putting our name on it and saying this is ours when we didn't create it. It's not an expression of our voice.
She says writing and expressing oneself will always have a place in our society, so it's important to talk about how AI can boost that, not replace it.
We really started putting this emphasis on how can we have students using classroom time to engage with their ideas and their critical thinking, and how can we, talk with them about their goals as writers, about how they want to come to their voice, and thinking more about, are there ways to use generative AI that are not misrepresenting it as their own ideas, but that they're helping them.
That's why, at the governor's request, SUNY has formed an AI research group to help chart a course for future strategy in pursuing AI research, education, policy, and workforce development.
I hope even in 50 years, no matter where we go with this, that I'm still just saying, I want you to have ideas and I want you to research and figure out why you believe what you believe, question those things, and think of your perspectives and how you want to articulate those perspectives to the rest of the world, your audience and your reader.
It's here. How do we use it intelligently? How do we go in and help everyone, instructors and students, administrators, understand the risks, the benefits, how to best use it to improve our mission, which is really, to help educate citizens of the state.
We know these conversations are happening here on college campuses, but they're also happening elsewhere.
The tools in which we use to learn or to teach definitely are changing, right? And that's changing overnight.
It's change that Binghamton High School principal Kevin Richmond says educators need to embrace.
We have to adapt with the times. I don't believe anyone in education can ever get to the point where they stop learning, they stop growing. We need to adapt, we need to move with our kids. Education as a whole has changed from 30, 40, 50 years ago. There are new things that have occurred every single year. AI is just another one of those things.
He's a member of a newly formed AI task force in the Southern Tier that is looking to answer the question, what role does AI have in the classroom?
Am I, as a student, allowed to write an essay using ChatGPT?
We don't ever want a situation where a student is just using AI and then passes that off as their original work. However, I do think there's a place for AI in our education world. And so the reality is how do we get a student to use it as a piece of their writing or in addition to?
While there are AI detectors, Richmond says they aren't always reliable, but says the best detector is the teacher themselves, knowing their students.
Have them write in pencil or pen their original writing. Then if you get a piece of paper down the road that you can compare it to their original writing, now you know whether it's their tone, their writing, their language, or if it's something that's completely, over the top.
He says as of right now, the use of AI is up to the individual teacher, and the core standards remain in place when it comes to a student's education.
AI is only as good as the human who's using it, right? So we have to be able to teach those critical skills, those problem-solving skills, because without that, they can't do AI, right? So it's really important that we understand as education, AI is not replacing teachers, AI is not replacing education. It is a tool, a piece to help us learn.
And it's not just for the students. Richmond says it's a tool that can benefit teachers with a number of AI programs created by teachers for teachers. Richmond tries to share a new tool every staff meeting and will host a professional development day all on AI in December.
We always say for education, we need more time, we need more time, we need more time. AI is really allowing for that to happen.
This is new. This is scary. We've always done it this way.
Right.
Why do you think it's important to kind of fall into step and realize this is where the future is going? We need to be in line with that.
I think the hardest part of anything new is just starting, right? And if we can put our fear to the side and just say this is something new, let's try it out, I think people will be pleasantly surprised at how much it can help.
Richmond says he hopes lawmakers on the state and federal levels start working with these developers so that everyone can be on the same page. For example, he says many of the programs don't comply with Ed Law 2D, which is a privacy law for tech and education. To learn more about New York's AI intelligence goals, you can head to our website. The story is on WBNG.com.